Wednesday, November 17th, edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I am meteorologist Matthew East here with you. Kind of a rough and tumble evening out there across the region yesterday evening. Showers and a number of severe thunderstorms and quite a good number of wind damage reports came in. And I'll talk about that, plus how the rest of the week and Thanksgiving week is shaping up for us as we go through today's edition of the video. Let's start with the storm reports from yesterday and through last night, Tuesday night. And all of those blue dots represent where a wind damage report came in. Most of this was of the variety of trees and power lines coming down. And that really the most concentrated activity was from South Carolina right on up through North Carolina, Virginia, and even into the southern New England area here during the pre-dawn hours. There's the radar during the 5 a.m. hour this morning. Lots of rain, embedded thunderstorms. There's been a pretty good line of storms moving through New York, anywhere from the upstate down to just north of New York City. A lot of rain. That system is departing, though. Here's the next one. Notice the precip here in the Plain States. That's going to swing in here tomorrow. More on that in just a second. Let's talk about today. Here's the current watch and warning and advisory situation. Still some severe thunderstorm watches and warnings up in southern New England, including Long Island. All the blue counties, all those blue counties, that's a wind advisory. And it'll be pretty breezy here on the back side of that departing low. There's the wind stream lines this morning. And winds have really been cranking. I know when I came into work this morning, the wind was really howling out of the southwest. And gradually those winds will bend around out of the west and west-northwest with time today. Mountains will see some 50-plus mile-per-hour wind gusts. And Piedmont maybe some 25 or 30 mile-per-hour wind gusts today as that low pulls farther and farther away. Some slightly cooler air behind the low moving in. We did get into enough instability and warm and muggy type of air to promote those severe thunderstorms late yesterday. Some slightly drier air moving in. Well, definitely much drier air, but some slightly cooler air moving in. We'll see highs today in the low to mid-60s. There's the departing system in New England. Here's the next one swinging into the southern plain states, but that one's really going to weaken as it pulls on in. Today it's going to be essentially full sunshine. Highs in the low to mid-60s, a bit breezy, upper 30s tonight, and then tomorrow it looks like 60 to maybe 62 degrees or so for highs across the Piedmont. Some spots staying shy of 60. And there'll be some clouds. I just don't think we're going to see any precip as that system will really weaken and the air mass will be very dry as it moves in here. So some clouds. I doubt we see any measurable rain outside of the mountains. Maybe seeing a shower tomorrow. Piedmont should stay dry. Full sunshine back with us by Friday. Highs upper 50s to low 60s. Saturday looks great. Another wonderful weekend forecast. Saturday and Sunday will feature highs in the 60s with full sunshine. Now let's go out to the beginning of Thanksgiving week. Here's the upper air pattern valid at Monday evening. And notice the very significant ridging here across the southeast. And that you look at that again at face value and you go, boy, that's going to be really, really warm stuff. And it will be warm, but once again, notice what's going to happen here. Here's Monday's surface chart. Once again, some high pressure wedging down. So it's not going to be as warm as it could be with that upper air pattern, but still we're talking highs probably well up into the 60s Monday and Tuesday, probably some low 70s for a lot of Piedmont locations for Thanksgiving week. But then some changes. Let me show you the GFS upper air chart. Now this is valid Thanksgiving morning at 7 a.m. And pretty substantial trough in the nation's midsection that then progresses eastward deeper into the week. Now, the same exact time frame, here's the European. And I think this is one case where the GFS is probably more right than the European out here in the medium range. And the European holds this energy back here in the desert southwest. That is a bias that sometimes happens, an error that happens in the European model out there in the medium range. And you can really see it here on this day 8 to 10 chart. European on the left, GFS on the right, and the European just is wanting to hold back more energy here toward the southwest. So the result is the trough doesn't really swing in full effect into the eastern U.S. at the end of next week. Now let me show you the GFS. Now let me say the European could be right. It's just my hunch is that it's one of its classic biases is occurring here. All right, here's the GFS. Wednesday evening, cold front drops in. The GFS Thanksgiving evening here, rain around parts of the region, sharp cold front just to our north and west, and then that front plunges through by Friday, and we get into that cold air there for Black Friday. And let me see, let me show you the next chart here that I put up here. This is out Monday morning, the 29th. Storm system moving through, a lot of cold air around, and Very cold as we wrap up November there and head into December 1st. So, some model disagreement later on next week. I still think beginning Thanksgiving weekend, maybe around Friday, the window of opportunity opens for that colder air to plunge on in. And once it does move in, it probably more often than not stays cold as we head into the first part of December, maybe the first week or so of December. We'll see. A lot of uncertainty there in that time frame. Next week is kind of the transition week, and so you can expect some kind of flips and flops in the modeling, especially toward the end of next week. So we'll see how that all unfolds. All right, that's it for today. Have a great Wednesday, and God bless.